All right, Coach, how you feeling after the last two games? It feels like the two most complete efforts you've put up here back to back.
Well, we really like to think that we're turning the corner, that we've gotten better. I think the team is playing with a lot of confidence. I think you could see that against Cornell. Played better in the first half the last 2 weeks, which we were trying to get away from those slow starts. So I think the team's starting to come around and understand what we can do, what we can't do. And I think everybody's playing better right now.
So there's about a million different scenarios left with how the ACC tournament could go down. But how important is this Carolina game for you guys to set that up for you?
Well, I think that there's a play-in game, so it's really about playing the game. I don't think that we're approaching it, at least from a coaching staff, so much about how we're going to be placed in the ACC. It's more about winning the game to help our resume going down the stretch.
And it stands out here. There's a Solomon on both sides of the field this week. How neat is that when you look at it from the big picture?
Yeah, it's always interesting. You got to wonder how the brothers will approach the game, if they'll approach it any differently because of it. I think in our case, we would just want Nate to keep doing what he's doing, playing his game and doing what it's going to take to win the game.
When you watch Nicky as a high school player and now as a freshman, do you see Nate at all when he was a high school player and a freshman?
I haven't seen Nicky too much. A little bit. I've gone to Georgia a few times, and I've seen him play a little bit on film. But he had made his mind up so early on where he was going that we didn't get a chance to see. It wasn't important for us to see him play.
Last year was an overtime thriller game against UNC. What do you take away from that game last year?
Well, I think that like any of these ACC games, in lacrosse in general anymore, they can be really close games. Everybody's good, and if both teams are playing well, it should be a close game. We try to draw on experiences from close games and what it's going to take to win at the end. But it's one game at a time, one play at a time, and I think it's going to be a battle.
Speaking of experience, this is a much younger UNC team this year. How are you going to use that to your advantage for your team?
Well, they're younger at the one end of the field. They start with two freshman attackmen and a senior, and sometimes the senior comes out and they put in a third freshman. A lot of people are calling them the baby heels, but they've got some experience between the lines and at the defensive end of the field. They're young in the goal, but he played. I thought he played terrific a week ago. He's one of the best goalies I'd seen play in that particular game. So he's playing with a lot of confidence. So we're just going to have to keep shooting and trying to figure him out as the game goes on.
Both your team and UNC have both beaten Duke now. Have you watched any of that game, and were you able to take anything away from that game?
Everybody plays different defenses and different offenses. So we watched it. Carolina does some different things defensively, and what they did against Duke, I'm sure will be similar to what they're going to do against us. Most teams don't change a lot of what they do defensively. And offensively, I think it's important for us to know their personnel and their characteristics. And hopefully we can play some good one-on-one defense with their attack being young and focus a little bit more on their offensive midfield.